Hi there, my name is Anna Goldsecker and I'm from Sol Mate Yerba, and today I wanted to teach you 7 ways to get over a binge, what to do the next day. If you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to like the video and hit subscribe. You can also, in the comments section, let me know what else you want to hear about, what specific topics you're working on that we can discuss. For 14 years, I worked as a nutritional counselor. I worked mostly with women, mostly with weight loss. And I was shocked to see that most of them had issues that I had. And a lot of it was circling around binge eating. So today I wanted to kind of dissect that and talk about ways to help mitigate the after effects of that. So we're going to talk about 2 areas. One is mental and one is physical. So what to do mentally to help you the next time and what to do physically to help you. Let's go into the physical first. That's probably easiest. Let's say that you binged at night. The next morning, what are you going to do? The first thing that I suggest you do is to hydrate. Right? So your body's going to have some major detoxing going on, and you're going to want to hydrate as much as possible. So throughout the day, drink as much water as you can, but start in the morning with some warm lemon water. That is going to help soothe the gut, soothe your belly. It's going to help fill your belly a bit. And I always had this teacher that would say the solution to pollution is dilution. So when you wake up that morning, go for a big mason jar of some warm lemon water. The second thing that I suggest that you do is eat protein throughout the day. So what usually happens after a binge is that the next day you have some low blood sugar dips, and some people use that to then binge again. So to kind of mitigate that, you want to preemptively, so before you're even feeling cravings, have a little bit of protein. So you wouldn't normally do this on a regular day, but on these days, have a little bit of protein throughout the day. And you're gonna probably wanna do that about every 2 hours. It does not have to be a lot. So that could be a tablespoon of protein powder and water. It could be, if you eat fish, a little bit of tuna fish, something like that throughout the day. I suggest that you don't go for the nuts. In other words, don't go for fat, because that is going to give you more of a craving for sweets probably, and it's really not going to fill you. So about every 2 hours intermittently, I want you to have just a little bit of protein on the day after. The next thing I want you to consider doing is to have a larger lunch. So usually people that binge are then restricting. So be careful with that ping-ponging back and forth, or at least just be aware of it. So that next day for your lunch, I want you to add in some starch. That could be any kind of non-gluten starch. So that could be something like potato, sweet potato, squash, rice, even white rice. And I want you to have enough so that your gut feels full. I want to fill you up, and especially midday. And then after that, you continue the 2 hours to have a little bit of protein every 2 hours. And then some feel for dinner that they do better when they have a little bit more starch. So you're going to need to play with that and see what works best for you. So those are the major physical things I want you to do. Now, let's switch to the mental topic. So binge eating is a very, very intense thing. So what we want to do is over time, at least soften the binges. This is something that the medical profession has been trying to work on for decades. When you beat yourself up, you're almost using a battering ram to hit yourself over the head, and you are losing all the subtle lessons that the binge was actually telling you. So if you stop beating yourself up and actually look at what happened non-judgmentally, you're able to next time kind of at least see, oh, this is coming. Do I want to help it? What do I want to do? What are my options? For example, if you don't have a solid lunch, sometimes people have a binge later on. So you want to start observing when the binge comes. And the second you start beating yourself up, all those lessons go away. So for you, I want you to kind of lean into it softly, turn into it softly, and see what happened. Factually, what were the events that led to the binge? Do not beat yourself up. The second thing I want you to do is to start writing those lessons down. So when I went through this process, what I started doing was on one side of a piece of paper, I would write down what I had throughout the day, and on the other side, I would write down symptoms. So one thing is to just write out a food journal, but really that doesn't give us enough data when we're trying to deal with binging. So you want to write down what you're feeling, and then on the other side, what you're eating on one side, and on the other side, what you're feeling. So anything from an energy dip, anything from a whoosh of depression, a craving for sweet. And you will notice after a while that there are things that those days have in common. And you're going to have to kind of be a detective and figure this out on your own. And I really think that this is something that very few professionals can help you with, but you can discover it for your own, and you have the power to figure this out. The third thing is to open your eyes. A lot of people, the day after they binge, the next morning they just get up and hit the ground running. They start restricting and beating themselves up and really hating themselves. And what I'm asking you to do in another way here is to open your eyes, see what happened, see how you feel. Really be observant. What does your body need? What did you go through? And why? All these questions will help you get back on track. And all of these questions will be on the road to your recovery and never having to binge again. If you like this and you want to see more of these videos, please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for listening.